You know, I once described the original Nobody from 2021 as a cheeseburger kind of movie. Yeah, it wasn't fancy, it wasn't sophisticated, and it didn't exactly push the boundaries of what's possible in the medium, but it was simple, unpretentious, and enjoyable. It didn't overstay its welcome, and by the time it was over, I felt pleasantly satisfied. A bit like an evening with Tatiana. And if that's the case, then I guess it's time to carry on my pointless food analogy by saying that Nobody 2 is the ice cream sundae for dessert. Yeah, we didn't really need it. It's got a few questionable items sprinkled on top, and arguably it's not quite as satisfying as what came before it, but hey, it's still a fun, colourful, and charmingly old-fashioned throwback to a simpler, more innocent time. Man, I really want an ice cream sundae now. All of this is to say that while Nobody 2 didn't exactly wow me with its inventiveness and creativity, and the basic story arc is annoyingly similar to the first movie, there was still more than enough here to keep me happy, and it ultimately did exactly what it set out to do: provide 90 minutes of enjoyable throwaway action, a bunch of likeable characters, and a plot that doesn't require much more than casual inspection to get by. The story once again picks up with Hutch, who's now working as a hitman to pay off the debt that he owes after the first movie. Unfortunately, the long hours and constant interruptions have left him distant from his wife and kids, so he plans a summer vacation to Plummerville, his favourite childhood getaway, in the hopes of reconnecting with them. Unfortunately, his son gets in trouble with a local bully while the family are out one night. Hutch steps in to defend him, and well, I think you can guess where it goes from there. Pretty soon he's gotten on the wrong side of a corrupt local sheriff, a corrupt theme park owner, and just about everyone else in town. But as he soon begins to realise, there's more going on here than local officials throwing their weight around, and Plummerville might just be the focus of something much bigger and more sinister. Now, I know that's a pretty short plot summary, but what can I say? This movie isn't exactly heavy on story, and at 90 minutes long, that's probably a good thing. What we do get is a simple framework to facilitate a bunch of action scenes, just enough character development to set the wheels in motion, and a slight sense of deja vu. Yeah, Hutch's character arc of reconnecting with his wife and kids after growing distant from them over the past few years because of the demands of work and life is basically just a rehash of the first movie, and I can't shake the feeling that they were playing it a little too safe with this one. You've already got all the goodwill in the world after the first film, guys. You can afford to take a few risks here. There's plenty of little callbacks to the more memorable set pieces from the first movie, like the bus scene where Hutch takes a beating and even gets thrown through a window, but just fucking refuses to quit. The version we get here on a boat isn't quite as visceral or creative, but hey, it's still pretty fun for what it is. Bob Odenkirk once again does most of the heavy lifting with this one, turning in the same entertaining performance as the world's most unlikely action hero. And holy shit, that heart attack doesn't seem to have slowed him down one bit. He still gives the action scenes 100%. The fight choreography is decent, and he's still well balanced out by the always entertaining Connie Nielsen, who for some reason stopped aging about 15 years ago. Seriously, how is this woman 60 years old? I'd say she must have good genes, but we know how that'll turn out. One thing that's always surprised me about these movies though is that her character is actually a supportive and understanding wife who totally gets the pressure Hutch is under and does what she can to help him, instead of some shrill, humourless harpy constantly putting him down and berating him for not being a better man. It's a neat change of pace in a modern movie, and it's very much appreciated. It's not all positive though. I don't know exactly what Sharon Stone was going for with her performance as the big baddie of this movie, but man, there's chewing the scenery and then there's taking off and nuking the entire site from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
Fucking A.
Like, imagine for a second that you won the lottery, inherited a country mansion, and scored a date with Sydney Sweeney all in the space of 24 hours, and then someone asked you how your day was going. The amount of enthusiasm you'd put into your answer is about 1% of what she puts into every line of dialogue. It's bizarre and distracting stuff from an actress who's obviously capable of so much more, but I guess decided not to bring it to this one. Also, I'll always love Christopher Lloyd like the crazy uncle that I never had, but man, at 86 years old, he's getting pretty frail these days. The script doesn't ask too much from him because I suspect he doesn't have too much to give, and I can't help wondering if he maybe should have sat this one out. Ultimately, while Nobody 2 didn't exactly make a deep impression on me, it's exactly the kind of simple, undemanding, switch your brain off and enjoy action movie that you need every once in a while. A film that gets the job done in 90 minutes with no fuss or frills, doesn't take itself too seriously, and didn't cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. The ending leaves the possibility of a sequel wide open, and honestly, I wouldn't be against one more movie to round out the story of Nobody. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.